Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Nitro Racing League here on the channel. Today we have the duels at Daytona for you guys coming your way. I'm just going to be showing my duel. So I was in duel number 1 and there was only 8 of us here for this first duel. There was supposed to be about 12 of us, I believe, but we ended up only having 8 for this first duel. There was a second duel with the other drivers, but like I said, it did not show that. So we all got lined up and got going here for the start of this first duel, and the duel was 30 laps long. No stages, no points awarded, just to set the starting grid for the Daytona 500 coming up on Saturday night. I'll probably be uploading the duels on Saturday, and then I'll be putting out the Daytona 500 episode from the Nitro Racing League probably on Monday. So be expecting that very shortly now, as I cannot wait to get this season officially underway. I did not actually do qualifying. There was a whole qualifying actual round for the Daytona 500 where we did single car qualifying. I decided to not do it because I didn't care, because starting position really doesn't matter in the Nitro Racing League, but I decided to show up for the duels because it is Daytona and we know how the racing is going to be here at Daytona. So we were underway. Only 8 cars, like I said. Myself and Eddie were the only 2 Toyotas in the field for this first duel. So Eddie now is in that 94 Sunoco car, so definitely going to get used to some driver changes. You're already seeing some driver changes right here. We got Christian now in the 4 car. He's still at Stewart-Haas Racing. I believe he drove the 41 last season. In the 12 car, we now got Penske cars back. We got Sean, also known as Demon Savior. That's his gamer tag. He used to drive in the Nitro League quite a ways back, a few seasons back now. He is returning this season, along with some other drivers that are returning as well. We got Matt Chaffee in the 10 car this season, and then we got Cameron, who's now in the 6 car. He was in the Hendrick 88 car last season. Then we got some rookies, and one of the rookies in the field was the 88 right here of Libert, a little bit up in front of us. I don't know his first name, but then we also had another rookie of Mahu in the 14 car for Stewart-Haas Racing. So that was kind of what the field was made up of for this 30 lap dash here in the first duel. Now, is obviously it's the duels, nothing to lose here. I wanted to just kind of go and make any move I could find here in Daytona now, as you're not going to see me just riding in a line for the most part now, as we were up the inside of the 12 of Sean right there as he gets in line behind me there in P8. But the big thing going into this weekend for the Daytona race, for the actual points race of the Daytona 500, is the manufacturer games are going to be very important now. So you're going to see that come into effect in this race, where there's a lot of Fords in this race. It was basically 1 Chevy, 2 Toyotas, and then the rest were all Fords. So it was very hard to beat the Fords. Now, in the Daytona 500, there's going to be like 8 or 9 Toyotas, I believe, or something like that. So we're going to have a huge advantage, but the Fords also have a lot of cars. So it's really, in my opinion, I think it's going to come down between the Fords and Toyotas. We'll see what Chevy can do, but they definitely have the least amount of cars, and it might be a bit of a disadvantage for those Chevy drivers. So we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. But here you see on lap 9 of this event, or really it was actually lap 8, we were now pushing Eddie out in front here. So we got up to the front of the pack, which is a little bit surprising. Into turns 3, we had the option to kind of drop down right here. I stayed committed right here on the outside. Personally, I like the outside more at plate tracks in terms of NASCAR 5 as well as iRacing. Pretty much anything now as we go through into the trial now on at lap 10. There is a pit stop necessary here in this race, but actually I get hung out right here by both Eddie and the 14 of Mahu, so we end up now being the only one, or actually, sorry, not the only one, but leading the outside in front of that 4 of Christian. I believe the 88 of Libert was right behind him, but then I eventually, sure enough, was the only one on the outside, so I had to drop back down into last place on this 11th lap of this event here as we went down into the trial. So now you would see me here making a big move to the outside. We actually have our first crash of the race, and it involves myself and the 4 of Christian, I guess. Matt Chaffee or someone it was had a tiny little leg spike. It checked up everybody, and we all came together and we crashed. So we came to the pit lane to top up on fuel, put 4 tires on the car, and now we were good to the end of this duel, which comes to an end on lap 32. So the white flag starts as soon as we hit lap 31, checkered flag as soon as we hit lap 32. So this season, once again, we're bringing back what we used to run a few seasons back, where we have extra laps so we can have overtime attempts and whatnot, as that was a very awkward start there as I got driven into the side of from the 12 now as I go down this back straightaway. But it was a very nice vibe here in this duel. We had a very pretty much just chill time now, as everybody in this race really didn't want to take it seriously. We're just trying to have fun as we went down into turns 3. There was absolutely no point to take a race like this seriously now as we come through out of turns 4, right behind Libert there in that 88 car. It's going to be really interesting to see what some of these rookies are capable of doing. I think, honestly, this is going to be one of the hardest seasons ever to win in the Nitro Racing League, at least since I've come into it now, back in like NASCAR Heat 3 it was. So there is less races, of course, in the regular season and whatnot, so we got a lot less time, and that is due to us not being able to probably get a longer season completed before the next NASCAR game comes out. We don't know, of course, when that is, but my guess would be probably sometime around September. As you see me making it 3 wide with the 2 SHR teammates of Matt Chaffee, a veteran, and then a rookie of Mahu in the 14, who was one of the best drivers in the Truck Series last season. Now, as we come through out of turns 4, down this front straightaway into the tribal, we come through to lead the lap here in Daytona. So it's nice to actually get some laps led, although it does not matter whatsoever, of course, but we still like to get those laps led now. As we go down this back straightaway, though, on lap 17, Mahu back up the inside, pulls a little bit of a side draft right there, pulls me back down this back straightaway into turn 3. So now he is going to have a bit of an advantage, as now is there 3 wide behind us. I decided to go actually up to the top towards the wall to make sure I bring Eddie with me here, as I didn't want to work with the 4 versus Eddie. Now as we come through out of turns 4 down this front straightaway. So once again, you look at the bottom line. It's forward, 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 and then we got a Chevy of Libert who'd actually just jumped up to the top. So now it's all forwards on the bottom with myself, Eddie, and Libert, and then we got Sean in the back now as we would drop back down to the inside into turns 1. Running now in the 5th position. We once again would continuously try to make this outside line work here, especially down the back straightaway into turn 3 multiple times, but every time pretty much it came to a failure because we just couldn't make this outside work, unfortunately. So we would just continue to try it, at least on lap 19. Once again, down the back straightaway on the outside. It gets a little bit awkward here, though. Matt Chaffee actually jumps up to the outside, kind of slows up our momentum. We get to the back of him into turn. See, there are 3 wide behind us. Libert actually got into the outside wall, and unfortunately, I think he would actually lose the draft right in that moment. I could not tell, but we go down this front straightaway just trying to make something work here with Chaffee, but once again, nothing really working. And sure enough, yes, Libert actually loses the draft, unfortunately, here. So in the 88 car, he would drop all the way to the back and have absolutely nothing unless a caution would come out here, which we cannot rule out, of course, as we come through now down this back straightaway on lap 21. Actually, let Eddie go by me so I can get in behind him. I thought he would probably be a little bit better to lead the outside if we make it happen, so we would pass the 12 of Sean, but it was not really very long until he would probably get another chance to pass myself here, as we were closing in now on the final handful of laps of our first duel here in Daytona. Now as we go down into turns 1, it's single file from 1st all the way through 7th, and then myself and Eddie once again try to make this outside work, but you can see what's happening here is it's forward, 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 all on the bottom, and then we got 2 Toyotas leading the top, and as you can tell, it's just not going to work. So I leave a huge gap actually and get a big pull from Eddie now on lap 28 into turn 3. Now they're going 3 wide for the lead. I'm right into the mix now. At this point, I was really desperately trying to get into this now as we came through out of turns 4. The 10 slides up into the 12. Now I get hit now as we're heading down straight at the pit lane, and somehow, some way, we missed the pit lane. I was so lucky right there. I never lifted. I just stayed in. I was like, if we go in the pit lane, that's unfortunate, but if we get out of the throttle and somehow miss the pit lane, we won't hold the draft. So we stayed in the throttle, we got on the track, we stayed in the draft, and now as we come through to the final couple laps of this race, 2 laps to go into turns 1, passing the 10 of Chaffee, passing the 6 of Cameron, to the back of the 14 of Ma, who's up the inside of the 94 of Eddie as we exit turns 2. Now we're going to all of a sudden find ourselves in P3 with a lap and a half remaining. Definitely did not anticipate being in that 3rd position all of a sudden here, considering how the last couple laps of this race have gone now as we go down into turns 3 and 4. So now it's the 4 of Christian leading the way as we exit turns 4. So it's 2 Stuart Haas cars, then a Joe Gibbs car, and then a Joe Gibbs quote-unquote affiliate car right behind me in P4 as we come through to start the final lap of this first duel here as we go down this front straightaway. I was considering right here maybe trying to leave a bit of a gap between myself and 2nd place, but you can see right here Mahu's already doing that. He's laying back from the 4, so now I'm trying to lay back a little bit from him, but it was all awkward all the way around. So we come through out of turns 2, and now we're just going to probably follow the 14 once he makes a move. Sure enough, Mahu goes to the top. I'm going to go with Mahu here as we go down this back straightaway. Eddie's going to go with me as well, so we're going to get right right up to the back of that 14 as we go down into turn 3, and he clears the 4. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough pace there to get clear, enough momentum to get clear of the 4, so he gets past me, and then the 12 actually runs into the side of us, puts us in the wall, and then 10 goes by as well, and the 6, so myself and Eddie are going to end up P6, P7. Christian actually still won the duel, apparently, just barely over the 14 and Mahu as he made a move on the exit of turn 4, but it would be P6 here for us in the first duel now. So if you guys enjoyed, you know what to do, and I'll see you guys in a few more days for the start of the official regular season for the Nitro Racing League with the Daytona 500. So thank you all for taking the time out of your day to watch, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, everybody.